Welcome to Cincinnati Playhouse in the Park. My name is Miss Ernaisja, and welcome to Contemporary Musical Theater Dance. Before we get into our video today, I would like to remind you of 3 simple rules. Number 1, safety first. Make sure you are in a nice, clear, open space. We're dancing. You have to have enough space so that you do not hurt yourself anywhere, okay? Rule number 2. Pause the video whenever you need. If you need to take a break, catch a drink of water, stay hydrated, my friends. If you need to pause the video and rewind to rewatch something I just did, take more time with the dance step, do what you need. Pause the video. And last but not least, number 3, have fun. Our bodies are different, so I want you to bring in your unique self to the dance, okay? Have absolute fun. Before we begin, we must always do a physical warm-up. Dance is exercise, dance is a physical activity, so you don't want to hurt yourself, pull any muscles or anything like that. So I'm going to do a full body physical warm-up. We'll be isolating each part, so all you have to do is follow along with me. Ready? Just follow along with me. And starting with our head. This way, center. That way, center. This way, center. That way, center. Going up, up, center, down, center, up, center, down, center. Now tilt, tilt, center, tilt, center, tilt, center, tilt, around the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To our shoulders. Up, up, up. Double time. 1. And now we're going to roll them back, 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 and forward. Now we're going to isolate our ribs, just our rib cage, all right? Get into a plie. Now this way, center, that way, center. This way, center, that way, center. Now out, center, in, center, out, center, in. Now our hips, make them big circles. Big circles. Now your other hip, go. 5, 6. Now we're going to move to our feet. I want you to go plie, center, releve, center, plie, center, releve, center. Now stretch up. And here, here, hold it. Roll up slowly. Good job. So for today's basic dance steps that I'm going to teach you, first we must talk about the 3 different parts of the foot, okay? So, show me one of your feet. Excellent. There are 3 parts that we must know because I will be referring to them quite often, all right? First things first is the heel of the foot. That's this part, right? So you can do lots of dance moves on the heel. You can put your weight on the heel. Now we have the toe right here. Now we actually don't dance on our toes unless we're like professional ballet dancers and we have on the proper shoes, right? You can really hurt yourself if you do, put too much pressure on your toes. So we really don't dance on our toes. We dance on this part of our foot that comes about right here. And if you put your foot down, you can really kind of feel it. It's in the middle of our toes and our arch. That part, it's called the ball of our foot. And that is a safe place. And we're going to do a lot of dance steps on the ball of our foot. So it's really important to know the 3 parts of your foot, the heel, the toe, and the ball. So when I reference that, you'll know what I'm talking about. Awesome. Let's talk about transferring our weight. It is one of the foundations of dance, right? I'm standing on both my feet right here. I'm on my right foot, my left foot, right foot, left foot. I am shifting my weight, right? So in dance, when you put your full weight on something, that means my weight is on this leg in this foot right here, right? That means I I have this free foot here, and I can easily do the next step. This foot is completely free. So now I'm going to transfer my weight over onto this foot, right? And so now this foot is free. So as you do a step, right, you transfer your weight and you keep it moving. Over here, weights over here, weights over here. Sometimes there's a move that I'll be able to teach you called like a ball change, and that's when I'm like on the ball of my foot here, and I like partially shift my weight, and then I put it back over here. So there's gonna be times where like I share the weight. I have full weight on one foot. I'll partially shift, bring back. But it's important to know where your weight is, because if I know exactly where my weight is, I know which foot, which direction, where I have to go, right? If all my weight is on here, where am I gonna go? I have to go to this foot, right? So it's very important to know where your weight is on your body and where you're standing, how you're keeping your balance, and all of those things, okay? Now, speaking of transferring our weight and stepping on our full foot in the ball, let's go right into our first dance step for today. It is a step touch, okay? So whenever I say take a step, I usually do mean I'm taking a full step and I'm putting my full weight onto that foot, okay? Now, the touch part is with my free foot, I'm going to touch, which means I'm going to put it on the ball of that foot. Now, whenever I do anything on the ball of that foot, or if I'm just touching it as I see here, that foot is still free because this leg that I stepped on has the weight. So then I am going to then shift, step, now this has the weight, and touch. I'm on the ball. So, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch, step, touch. Step touch is a very simple move that you'll do a lot of times in dance. And even if you're doing, things with your arms and you're like doing all these other things, your feet are still stepping, touching, stepping, touching, stepping, touching, stepping, touching. Okay? Now, this next move we're going to talk about is the pivot. Now, a pivot step, listen carefully. When you pivot, you don't actually pick your feet off the ground. You are only shifting your weight. You're turning on the balls of your feet. Let me demonstrate. So whenever I teach like the pivot step, I usually do a step pivot, right? So I'm going to take a step with one of my feet. I took a step, which means I have all my weight there, right? Now I'm going to pivot. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to pick up my heels. I'm on the ball of this foot, and I'm going to pivot. Boom. Did I pick up my feet during that pivot? I did not. All I did was pivot like this, okay? Great. And so now, right, my weight is kind of partially, I'm kind of balancing between both feet. I can move back, I can move forward, I can do what I need to after that pivot, right? So let me do a couple step pivots around so you can see that you have to step on the step, you pivot, I don't turn. I'm going to pick up this back foot here, step again, and now I can pivot again, right? So pivoting happens on the balls of our feet. We turn, we change directions on the pivot, all right? Now, we're going to put that pivot together with our first across the floor. We're going to learn jazz walks, and then we're going to add pivot steps with our jazz walks. So, Mr. Ernaisja, what's a jazz walk? Let me show you. Jazz is one of the absolute pillars and foundations of dance when it comes to musical theaters. So it's very important to learn a jazz walk. A jazz walk is when I have my nice balance and posture, roll your shoulders back, keep your head nice and level. A jazz walk, I'm going to walk on the balls of my feet, right? So lift those heels up, right? All right, and jazz kind of has a feeling and a power to it. So you're going to take your walks on the balls of your feet, right? And it's just right and left, going across, keeping it straight, keeping that posture straight, right? So instead of like, I'm doing my musical, and I'm just gonna walk to every next part of the choreo. No, I'm gonna be powerful, right? And jazz walk across the stage as I keep the audience's attention, right? So let's do some jazz walks across the floor. Ready? 5, 6, 7, Keep on the balls of your foot. Let's walk back. Step, 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 and just pivot it. Great. Make sure you stay on the balls of your feet. Pause the video if you need more time with your jazz walk, okay? Now, we're going to do jazz walk, jazz walk, jazz walk, jazz walk. 4 jazz walks. And then I'm going to step, pivot, step, pivot. Let me give you an example. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to walk, walk, 3 and 4. Step, pivot, step, pivot. Okay? So, I want to do that across the floor. I'm going to do it twice here, and then we'll go back. All right? And jazz walk with pivot steps. 5, 6, 7, 8. And jazz walk. Jazz walk, jazz walk. Jazz walk, step. Pivot, step, pivot. And jazz walk. Jazz walk, jazz walk. Jazz walk, step. Pivot, step, pivot. Good job. Let's walk back. 5, 6, 7. I want you to start off on your other foot. Whatever foot you just did, do the other one. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. And step. Step, 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 step. Pivot, step, pivot. 1, 2, 3, 4, step. Pivot, step, pivot. Good job, my friends. Pause the video if you need more time, okay? Alrighty. So, for our combination today. Now, when it comes to musical theater dance, I want to make sure we know one very important element, right? The acting and the script, plus the lyrics and the song, and the dance. All of these elements come together to further push the narrative of the story. So when I teach musical theater dance, I want to make sure that the moves are help telling a story, okay? So our story for our musical theater dance today is magical shoes, right? So we all love, all different types of musicals. One of my favorite types of musicals are the ones where a magical prop comes in and either helps, maybe, maybe it doesn't help our protagonist. But in this case, our protagonist is going to get some help from a magical pair of shoes. But as all magical objects do, they have a mind of their own. So, our story that we're going to be telling with our body, right, is that we're going to find the shoes, and our shoes are going to take over. So remember, musical theater dancers are also actors. So as I'm moving my body, I want to see the expression on my face, right? The audience wants to see it. So your character is confused at first, and there's going to be parts where you don't know what's happening, okay? So let me break down the story as I break down the choreo. First things first, we'll start out here, and then we are going to take a step, right? And I want you to imagine that you're putting the shoe on. So kind of have like that curve as you put the shoe on. That's 1, 2. Put the shoe on, 3, 4. Now the shoes are on. They're starting to take over. So they're gonna take over. We're gonna click our heels together, like Dorothy. 5, 6, 7, right? And drop down on 8. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoop. The shoes are taking over. Now, the shoe on the heel of our foot, right? The shoe is like, hey, I've been activated. So it's gonna, on our heel of our foot, we're gonna slide it out like this. And so to act like the shoe is in control, you're gonna try to keep your body up here and let the shoe kind of drag you out. So on the heel of our foot, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep that expression on your face, and then you're gonna lean 7, 8, right? And beginning of our next 8 count, we are then going to drag this foot. This foot doesn't want to leave this other one. It's gonna drag it together and really drag that all the way from 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we are going to, give me just a second. Yes, then we're gonna do step touch because they're super happy, right? Step, touch, step, touch. So the shoes are like, we've been activated. Let's have some fun. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's what the shoes are doing, okay? So let's go from the top without music going over the choreo, okay? 5, 6, 7, 8. Step 1, 2, are on, and click, 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 heel, 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 heel. 5, 6, lead, 7, 8. Slide, 2, 3, 4, and step, touch, step, touch. Want to do all that just with music? Let's do that. Come from the top. Hear the beat. Hear the beat. Make sure you always find that beat. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Shoes on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click those heels. What is going on? And lead. Slide. We're happy. We're happy. The shoes are happy. Thank you. Okay? So now let's continue our story. So the shoes are taking over. For our next 8 count, right? These shoes are brand new and they're taking over. So we're going to do some jazz walks, but I'm calling them funky jazz walks. So on the balls of my feet, I'm walking, right? But I'm going to shake because I don't know what's happening, right? So really put that into your body. What is happening for 4 jazz walks, okay? Now we're gonna do step pivot. And so the audience has our attention. The audience are probably getting a kick out of this, right? So we do our 4 jazz walks. You're gonna step, pivot, show the audience your face of, oh, I don't know what's happening, right? And then you're gonna step here. So that's 1, 2, pivot 3, 4, step 5, 6. When you turn 7, 8, you're gonna snap around, and now your expression is, ha-ha, okay. You've gotten used to the shoes. You're gonna turn back around like, okay, these shoes are pretty cool, okay? So let's go from the top of that 8 count. The shoes have taken over. I'm getting used to the shoes, and step. What is happening? Step. This is great, okay? Great. So for our last 8 count, now that we think the shoes are amazing, we are going to do a little kick out, and we're gonna like kick and kick and kick and kick. All right, we're gonna kick those heels up because, hey, these shoes are pretty cool. And then we're gonna do a cross step, cross, cross, step, cross. My weight is here. So I can, as you see, I'm in this kind of like plie here. I'm gonna push off and click my heels together, okay? So making sure you know where your weight is and using your plie, which is bending of your knees. Cross, step, cross, here, push off that, okay? That is, cross step is 1 through 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this foot is free. I'm gonna use this foot to basically do a simple turn, pop, and give me a nice little, give me a little jazz hand. You can do whatever you want, hey, whatever pose you wanna do at the end, okay? So let me go over those last 2 8 counts with counts. And 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and step, pivot here, step, pivot, okay. And, oh, I'm missing something. Oh, yeah, just go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn and pose, okay? Excellent. So, from the top, without music, then we'll run it with music, okay? Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, and shoes. Shoes, click, 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 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, lean, slide, 2, 3, 4, step, step, touch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, pivot, 6, 7, oh my gosh, and Charleston, 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 and cross, and heels, turn, here. Let's do all of that with music, my friends. Five, 6, 7, 8. Step, click, 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 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lean, slide. Hey, step, touch, and funky walks. Here, 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 and step. Hit. Oh my gosh, and Charleston, Charleston. Hey, give me a cross step, cross, heel, pop. Ha! Magical shoes, my friends. As we we warmed up, we must always cool down as well, all right? So, follow along with me as we do a quick cool down. Throughout this cool down, make sure you are breathing in deep. Arms up. Stretch back. Breathe in and out. Stretch to the side. Roll down. Grab your elbows and just hang, breathing in and out. Go down to the ground, stretch out, point those toes, and stretch in the middle, pointing and flexing. Stretch to the side. The side. And roll up nice and slow. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun. See you next time.